Today we review the Equipe RS Spring Fall Jacket Targa from Assos. Hello legends and super legends, welcome to Veloharmony. In today's review we take a look at Assos's take on splitting the line between jacket slash jersey with the Equipe RS Spring Fall Jacket Targa. I have the technical details pulled up on the PC down here because there's so much involved. For those of you who want to really know what's going on with the fabrics that they're using, I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at the jacket. It comes in the usual box that they ship these things in. I opened it briefly just to look at it. And then they have the little card. They always send these cards where they give you suggestions on how to use their stuff. Where they have a concept on the card, and then they have the application. They talk about the Equipe RS race collection. Equipe is a French word that means equipment. So what they said on here is, the application, they said this jacket is specifically engineered for professional riders and athletes who train year-round. We recommend pairing it with the Equipe RS Spring Fall Aero Gilet or the Equipe RS Spring Fall Aero short sleeve jersey and a skin foil for cool conditions. These are some of their other stuff. I'm wearing their 2-3 base layer, basically a spring fall base layer short sleeve. That's what I'm wearing on. What they're hinting at is this is designed to be layered extensively. So let's go ahead and put it on. I'm going to get this tag off here. They use a pin and they pin it through the zipper, which is kind of neat, so it doesn't touch the fabric. A lot of their products, they encourage you to cut off they have these labels that come on most products because it's a legal requirement to tell you the composition of the fabrics, and they kind of get in the way. So Assos, what they do is, let me see if this one has one. Yeah, it does. They have a line that they put on this where they recommend you cut that off. There's a dashed line right there. You got to cut it carefully so you don't ruin your fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get that off. I cut it right on the line because they mark it close to the fabric, because this thing here, when you wear it, if this on there, it's kind of a pain. Sometimes you can feel it. Be careful to cut that out. That's what I'm talking about. Most of the fabrics nowadays, they put that on there. They have it on mattresses and other things. But let's take a look at the jersey, and now I'm going to sit down and talk about the technical stuff that they put together in here to have their own proprietary fabrics. Hopefully this will give you a good representation. I'm going to hold it like this so you can see how well ventilated the back is. It's a different material in the back versus the front. Okay, then the arm, you see it almost like it has lines in there. We're going to talk about the details in a little bit when I sit down and read them to you. This material here, they call it a push-pull fabric. It gives you the feel of a jersey, but because they're using two different materials on the inside, you've got very nice, soft insulation, almost ribbed in a way, but they're almost like diamond. You know, I probably cut in the Assos style. They got little diamond shapes in there. It's on both sides. This is what insulates you as well as allows you to be breathable like a jersey. And then they run that same material up the shoulder. So basically, this is protected, this is protected. All here is protected because that's what the wind hits when you're in the riding position. The arm, what they claim, I'm going to sit down before I put it on. So what they're talking about is said, blurring the lines between a thermal long sleeve jersey and a low volume soft shell. That's what this jacket does. They call it a jacket. It feels more like a jersey than anything, but it functions like a jacket. And I really like that. They have increased thermal protection, reflective paneling, and built-in ventilation features. So what they're talking about here is on the back, that's a reflector right down the middle here. When light hits that, it pops. right in the middle of those pockets. Their pockets have like just like their jersey, a little protective sleeve at the top. When you put stuff in there, they're not going to fall out. And it doesn't get in the way. The designer to wear it just lays down. You put stuff in there when you're in the riding position, nothing tips out. I have one of the other jerseys, and I've actually tested that. I had a tool in there, and to get it out, when I sat down, it wouldn't even come out. It just went straight in there. It's kind of neat. Now, my computer went to sleep here. Let me wake it up. So let's look at what they're talking about here. The front panel, which I just showed you, is paired. They use their summer jersey, what they call their push-pull textile that I mentioned. And then they have this liner that I showed you with the diamond shaped. It's called a rhombus liner on the inside. With these two materials, they say it's stretchy, it's breathable, and aerodynamic, just like a standard race jersey, but the rhombus liner gives it heat-trapping insulation. The raw cut full-length sleeve, that's this one. By raw cut, that means at the bottom, there's no edge. Basically, I mean, it just disappears. The raw cut full-length sleeves are made out of what they call their Sonic SN, a highly elastic ribbed fabric that ensures second skin fit, and it features a brushed micro-sanded lining for added thermal protection. So on the inside of this arm, you can't really see it very well on camera, but you can feel it. That's what they're talking about. And they call it micro sanded. It's so small, but it's so smooth. Very comfortable against the skin. I showed you the back where you get your ventilation just like you would in a lightweight jersey, and also on the bottom of the pockets. This area here is very well ventilated. So there's so much going on with this. And they have this little ribbed elastic band. It's about 2 inches, I would say, on the bottom with some light silicone in there. That's to keep everything in place. That keeps the jersey in place when you put it on. Let's look at the next feature they're talking about. They have these two reflective valves called diffusers on the front. The top of the shoulder right here is designed when you're in the riding position to allow air to go in, so you don't have to always have to unzip to ventilate. That's like a diffuser like you would have on a car. Let me bring this over and see if this camera would do it justice. Right there. It's on both sides. That's a diffuser. So when you're down, it goes in. When I put on the jersey, I will show right there. I think it shows better. Right here where this label is. They call it a Valve Tech Diffuser Moisture Control. That's what that label says. Let me put the jersey on. So this armband has an elastic feel. Let me go back to how they described it, because it's almost like you're wearing a very lightweight wetsuit. That's what this feel is. And this raw cut just disappears. Very elasticy, and look, it just grabs your hand. There are little beads on the inside. They're circular, that you feel more than you see. It's similar to what they put on their arm warmers and so forth. But that's the second skin feel they're talking about. Let me slip this on. There's so much technical stuff that goes in here. It's just amazing that they have time to do all this stuff. As I'm putting it on, you just have this, it's like the glove fit feel on the body. And even though it's light, it is very, very nice and warm. And they call it spring fall. You know, as the winter gets deeper, or you go into deeper, colder temperatures, they expect you to layer this thing. The zippers are huge and robust, as usual from them. It's metal. I'm going to get this all the way down so I can show you. They have a double zip on here. With all the double zips, you got to get this thing in all the way. Now it's in. And of course, one hand control is nice and smooth. When I put this on, as I zipped it up, it just seemed to hug my torso. I feel wrapped. You know, I wouldn't call it saran wrap, but I mean, they're not playing when they call this thing they call it the spring fall jacket Targa. They really should have called it like an aero jacket, because look at the fit. The back, I was talking about down here, there's ventilation up here, and then they've got this band. So if you're in the riding position, this thing pulls nicely further down. This feels soft and smooth, but it hugs your body. It's tight, compressive, yet comfortable. The sizing is true to fit. I did not have to make any changes. This, you use their sizing based on, I went with my chest size, and it just really fits. These are the diffusers I was trying to show you right here. There's a vent in here, and I'm going to take the jacket off and show you on the inside how they work that vent. The air goes in there, but it does not hit your body. There is another panel behind it. So what it does is the air comes in, does not hit your body, it just basically flushes out some of the excess heat you may be generating while you're riding. So in the riding position, it's designed for you to use that to keep your body cool. Air goes in there while you're riding, right there. Then what they did on the inside, let's take this off. I studied their construction of the jacket before I decided to try it. So that's why I'm taking the time to show you these features. On the inside, I've turned it inside out to give you a better feel for all the fabrics. That's the rhombus liner that we're talking about. The back is ventilated just like a jersey. On the outside, they use the same material as the summer jersey. But on the inside here, because of the two layers, I want to show you this stitching. Right there, that's the diffuser. So that at no time is the air getting on your body. It is going between those two fat pieces of fabric, the rhombus liner and the push-pull, to let out excess heat and bring in air. So it's almost like you have your own thermal regulation system built into the jersey. The air is not hitting you directly. It's just going in and working between those two pieces of fabric. On the arm, those are the beads that they have around the raw cut features of the arm. So when you put the thing on, this fits like nothing, no other jacket I've ever put on. It's just like it molds to your body, and this thing here is very stretchy. This arm sleeve that they're talking about, let's see what they called it. I just read about it, but I want to use their proprietary fabric. The push-pull and the rhombus textile are two on the front panel and the upper back. That's the one I talked about. The rhombus liner, this is on the front panel and the upper back. So the areas that are most exposed to the wind, they use those double fabric on there. Let's go back. I want to talk about the arms here. According to them, the reason they built these valves or diffusers on the jacket is because when you're pulling, it allows you to pull in cool air from the outside and then injects it between the two overlapping layers of fabric that I talked about, the rhombus liner and the push-pull. Because according to them, they said when going full gas, preserving a tucked profile, yet still needing a touch of body cooling ventilation, unzipping isn't always the best option. This design solves the issue, resulting in a regulated core body temperature without sacrificing aerodynamics. So you can stay in the riding position, be aero, and still be comfortable as you ride. Because as your body is generating heat, the jacket is pulling in air from the outside through these valves, like a car, like a performance car engine does. Let's get this on. This jacket is very robust. The zipper does the jacket justice. The thing is huge down here. Then they have this flap that protects your shorts. And the compressive feel when you put this thing on, it feels like you're wearing a wetsuit that breathes. That's the best way I can describe it. And this just feels good to the touch. This thing, it feels like your skin. This armband that they're talking about. Yeah, okay, this is it. This is the one with the raw cut sleeves that they call their Sonic SN fabric. It's a highly elastic, ribbed fabric. You can see the lines in there. That's what I mean by ribbed. And this thing here feels like you're wearing a wetsuit, but on the inside they've got that micro sanded, what they call it, micro sanded grain, brushed micro sanded lining. So it just feels so comfortable against the skin on the inside, but yet on the outside it just hugs you to where there is, I mean, just a nice compressive feel. Hard to describe. It's something you have to feel for yourself. This is like a jacket that stands apart from anything else I've worn. And for those of you who are looking for something unique that really does the job, I think you need to give this a look. I love the fit of this. And this is just next level kit for those of you who already have stuff and you're looking for something that will just really distance what you've been experiencing. These things are more technical, very functional, and they really, really outperform most of the other things out there. And they're low volume, lightweight, and they perform better than the heavier stuff. So the Assos Spring Fall Jacket Targa. Let nothing stop you from getting your K's in.